here's my review of Lilo and Stitch. Now, this is a movie that personally I've been very excited for. This is one of the few Disney live action remakes that I was actually quite excited for just because I really liked the original Lilo and Stitch. Um, and I quite like this new one. There's going to be some people who are not going to like it, and I can see why because some of the changes that they made were just straight up unnecessary, and stuff that they left out were kind of frustrating. It's the little things. Everyone knows the story of Lilo and Stitch. Stitch alien crash lands on Earth and meets up with Lilo, and it's such a straightforward in plot, and it really relies on our leads, which is of course Lilo and Stitch. And this movie works just because our actress playing Lilo, I believe her name is Maya Kealoha is her name. She is so charming and just adorable, like Lilo is. But some of the other changes that they made are what just hold this movie back. Even though, like for example, she's not as much of a menace as she is in the original. Because in the original, she's clearly, she's a little kid. She's aggressive. She's mean. But she's not that as much. And it does kind of make this movie worse. And like I said, this movie is not as good as the original. It's not really even close. But it's a very fun and cute movie. I don't really see why so many people are hating on it. Very much follows like the original formula. Not really too many changes. Of course, Nani saying, "This is your responsibility." And I thought the actress, like, she didn't really stand out. Sydney Agudong, I believe is her name. But she wasn't bad, but it's just kind of missing. And that's what I kind of felt about this movie, is that it was just missing stuff, and I think it needed to be longer. Even though this movie is already longer than the original. The original is only about an hour and 20 minutes. This one's, I think, is about 1 hour 40 something or more. It feels like it should have been up to 2 hours, maybe even longer. Like, they should have put more, because it feels like, because there is stuff that is missing. Like, they took out Captain Gontu, and it's frustrating. But like I said, this movie works just because of the dynamic between Lilo and Stitch, who are still great, and it's just an adorable and fun movie. And they have to be great leads, considering Lilo and Stitch is a movie that, in terms of plot, it's a very basic. There's not really that much going on for the most part. It's really just the three characters, and of course Jumba and Pleakley trying to catch Stitch, which we'll get to in a minute. As for Jumba and Pleakley, played by Billy Magnuson and Zach Galifianakis, I quite enjoyed them. I thought that they were very fun, but it's just these little frustrating details that they do. Like, first of all, they're not really in their alien form a lot. They do this, cloaking stuff, which, in the original, where, they kind of had these disguises, which made it so funny, but, of course, in live action, it just wouldn't really work as well. But it's and then they took away Jumba's more Russian accent. It's just little changes like that. And it can just be frustrating, just the minor changes that they make. But it's I like these actors, and I think that they are good. It's just the little things that they change. Like, for example, Jumba doesn't have his Russian accent, and it's just things like that is just frustrating. But it's I'm saying all these complaints and all these changes that are unnecessary, and they are, but I still enjoyed this movie. But when you have such crucial side characters in the original that are just not as fun as they were, even if they're played by good and funny actors, it just stands out more. But I don't think that they're bad, it's just not as good. And that's the case for this whole movie. It's good, but just not nearly as good. And then they do a bunch of different changes. Like, they have Cobra Bubbles not the social worker, and instead he's the CIA agent, and then they replace it with a different character to be the social worker. It's just little changes. It just seemed like, why are you doing that? It's just weird. But one thing I will give this movie a lot of credit for is they did a really good reference to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly right here. Of course, the classic showdown, Clint Eastwood style, even down to the music. It was a really nice touch. So I think, though, some of the things that bring this down is, I would say, Jumba and Pleakley just are not as good as they were in the original. And that's just goes for the movie as a whole. It's just not as good, but it's still good. And it's just the little things that they took out, like the classic ugly duckling scene that just was so important to the original. And the fact that it's not here, it's like, why? This movie needed to have more, and the original did more with less, being a shorter movie and having even more substance to it. And this is a longer movie, but they took out some of the classic stuff. It's like, why would you do that? It's like, this is a longer movie. You could fit it in. It doesn't make sense. And they also took out the classic, like, Elvis. It's like, I mean, they have it. It's frustrating. Like, they had it in the trailers, but it's like, they didn't really have this classic Elvis scene in the live action movie. Why? That's a classic scene. And it's just annoying. But I'm saying all these negatives, but like I said, I liked the movie, and I especially liked the chemistry between Nani and Lilo. I think that they were great, and just the scene on the porch, I think, was just great, on the hammock. And there are a lot of great things to this movie, and like I said, it is a good movie. It's just the minor changes are just, not even necessarily minor changes, pretty big changes that are just frustrating, that just make this movie inferior to the original. But with all that being said, this movie still has a lot of heart to it. This movie is still fun. And it's not one of those remakes that just change so much and just completely doesn't understand anything about the original. Like, this still has the heart of the original. It's just missing all those other little things that made the original as good as it was. But it still has enough of the stuff from the original to make it a fun and cute movie. Like, I am glad I saw it. And I think that this is a good movie, but just not great like the original. So yeah, overall, I think I personally had a very fun time with this movie. I want to say I really loved it, but I really liked watching it. It was a lot of fun to watch. But it's like, whenever I'm going to rewatch, I'm probably never really going to rewatch this version of the movie. But yeah, this is still a good version of the movie. I think that if you had any interest in the movie at all, I'd say check it out. I think you will still get something out of it. I still think you will have fun. But if you had no interest in this movie at all and did not enjoy the trailers, I wouldn't recommend watching it. But for me, I had a really fun time watching it. It's just some of the big changes that they made were just aggravating. And I think that it's even more frustrating considering this is a even longer movie than the original, but it just feels like it has less, and it's frustrating. And also, I just want to say, for the most part, like, the CGI in this movie is incredible, from Stitch to Jumba to Pleakley. Even though they clearly did the human stuff to save money on the budget, it still looks great. So yeah, I just want to add that in there. But yeah, overall, I think that this is a good movie, but it's just got some things that really hold it back.